Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting day of Nemesis. I'm your host, Squirrel, joined by Fishy. Fishy, how are you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to get back into the Rival League action.
Yes, we have an exciting day of Rocket League planned. We're starting off with the Rival League, where we have Gravelords versus Kings, followed by some Challenger League action, where Motion will take on Venom. And to round off your night, we head to the Titan League, where we have Bananas versus Dragons. But right now, we're focused on Rival League. Gravelords versus Kings. Fishy, what's your prediction?
Just looking at the records of these two teams, Kings has had a bit of a rough patch in their season after losing a major part of their roster, and they've really had to start over. But they have been looking a little bit stronger in the recent weeks, kind of picking up some momentum, even though they have gotten a couple of losses.
Yeah, absolutely a rough start for the Kings, and the Gravelords are off to a hot start. I think they're second in the East right now, just behind the Pineapples, but they look really good. Gravelords composed of Kaio, Zap, and it looks like today they're going to be pulling up Case. And the Kings are composed of Doodle, Dank, Tyler, and Mickey, and we'll see which combination of players are coming out of there. So, Fishy, who are your players to watch for this one?
I really just gotta say, all eyes are gonna be on Kaio for this one. He's popped off for Gravelords and is a big reason of why they have the 5-2 record that they're at right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. As Gravelords start off with the pressure, and Kings do a great job of clearing that. Tyler following it up, awkward touch into the Gravelord's box, but Zap is going to control that out into his half. Dank cuts that off, trying to play a ball in, looking for a double. Not enough boost, but a good ball for Doodle as he shoots over one. A crossbar bounces. Tyler can't quite get the shot, and it looks like Gravelords are going to clear it. And man, Fishy, that's an exciting 30 seconds.
Kings really brought it to Gravelords on that one after a defensive effort of their own, but they're really pushing for this, really trying to leave it all out on the field and ignoring that there's 3 wins separating these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great bump by Zap, taking the defender out of the net.
All that pressure from Kings just goes away with that play from Zap. Beat one in the midfield, and what a bump from him to get the Gravelords a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, and it really felt like the Kings were on offense that whole time, and then one good play by the Gravelords. The next thing you know, they're up by 1 goal in this opening minute. As Zap, trying to air dribble it, can't quite get there. Doodle flicks it over one, but Caillou is there to save it. Caillou trying to control it, can't quite clear it though, as Tyler's going to pop it off the wall. A little double commit there from Doodle and Tyler, as this ball dangerously in the Gravelord's box, and Kings seem just content to send it back and forward over the Gravelord's net without any real threat, Fishy.
Yeah, I think you really hit the nail on the head with that one. They've had a ton of pressure, but it's just going side to side at this point. And they're only sitting on 2 shots after about a minute and a half of pressure. I'd really like to see them try and hit that net more frequent and more often.
As Kyle dribbles it into the box in case the challenger that's been pulled up puts a great shot on net.
Kyle, what a play from him. Just setting up Case in the middle. And both of the Gravelords' goals now have come from those high-flying aerial plays inside of the King's box.
And I know this is the second time that we've seen Case be pulled up for the Gravelords, and the first time he popped off, and it seems like he's looking for a repeat performance here, as Caillou looking to make something happen, but that's going to pinch across, and Tyler put a dangerous ball back into the middle. Thankfully, Dank is there to send it to the sidewall. It looks like the defensive rotations from the Kings are looking a little rough here, as the Gravelords finally getting a good sustained offense. A high ball at the ceiling, an awkward miss, a bump comes out, and Zap is going to put it in.
Just as you mentioned the awkward rotations from Kings, no one on the back post there, so no one could get that read. And Zap, it was a bit more fancy than it needed to be, but he gives the Gravelords a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, a great opening half for the Gravelords is they take an easy 3-0, uh, and the Kings looking to bounce back here, but Zap gonna cut that off and play a ball high. Case just gonna go and beat Dink to it.
And the pressure from Gravelords coming out again. It's a Zap air dribble play that sets it up, and Case just really out 50s the defender on that one, and it finds its way into the back of the net.
Case with no fear as he just challenges Dink straight up and wins it. Ball bounces out to Caillou, who's gonna clear it downfield into the King's corner. A double commit from the Gravelords. Haven't really seen that too often. As Case gonna save the day and keep the ball in, but a good clear by Dank is gonna put some pressure on the Gravelords. As Dank just gives the ball back in the middle of the field. Tyler, a good touch off his own backboard. Doodle trying to follow it up. Case there to cut it off. An aerial battle won by Tyler, but Zap is there to keep the pressure on. And Fishy, it's been almost 4 minutes now, and it seems like the Gravelords have had all the pressure.
Yeah, Gravelord's doing a good job of getting the right touches, I feel like. Kings aren't playing slow, they're actually playing pretty fast. A lot of their touches, they're just giving it away to Gravelords, and to their credit, they're doing a great job of capitalizing.
And Kings had a momentarily open net, but they play it just wide as they could have missed an opportunity to bring themselves back into this one. Dank gets a good touch, but Case is going to pass that to Zap, who's going to play it middle for Caillou, and the three-man passing play comes out for the Gravelords.
And their offense cannot be stopped right now. They're up 4-0, and they're still going for these passing plays in their half. But most importantly, they're getting goals.
Yeah, just absolute great play from the Gravelords this first game of the series, and the Kings are going to have to dig deep if they want to bring it back into this one, as Dank trying to put some pressure on in the corner. A miss by two players, and Doodle can't quite get there in time. Zap going to try to clear this ball out, controlling it. Can't quite get it over Dank, but Case is there to help him out. Case to Zap, back to Case. Off the backboard, is Caillou there? No, he's not. A good touch by Dank to relieve that pressure. And Fishy, even with Case coming in as a sub, as Doodle just takes a ball out of the air and puts it 5-1.
Man, dang, that's a great pinch up from him, and it forced at least one Gravelords player to jump for that, and two went, and it leaves an open net for Doodle.
Yeah, a good shot and maybe some signs of life from the Kings in the series. But what I was trying to say was, even with pulling up Case, the Gravelords look really good.
Yeah, he's really fit into that rotation well. I think that's the benefit they get from having played with him before. So Kings almost get another goal there, but like you said, they have played with him a series before. He is not a bad player and challenger by any means.
Yeah, definitely showing that he can hang with the big dogs. Is another lofty shot there cleared away by Zap, and I think that's going to do it for game one. Just waiting for the ball to hit the ground. Maybe the Kings can put a 0-second goal in and try to get some pressure going into game two. As Doodle air dribbling it away in Case on the backboard, and it's finally going to drop as Gravelords take the first game.
And a great offensive performance from Gravelords. And defense as well in that opening 2 minutes, because you have to remember, Kings were on offense for quite a while there, but Zap just turned it all around and never looked back after that first goal.
Yeah, definitely a full team effort from the Gravelords, and can't really say as much for the Kings as it looks like Doodle did a lot of the heavy lifting there. Even on high ping, he still had a lot of productivity. And Fishy, what do you think the Kings can do to turn this one around in game two?
I think looking for passes has really worked out for them. That's where they got their goal from, was a backboard pass out to the middle that Doodle got a shot on. I think they just got to keep trying to look for those, because a lot of their pressure, like I said earlier, it's coming through the corners, and you just can't get good shots from there.
Yeah, that's a great point. And another point that I'd like to mention is that goal that was scored off the bump play for the Gravelords, I would like to see the Kings try to work that into their offense. Maybe bump these Gravelord defenders and create some awkwardness in their rotations.
Yeah, it certainly couldn't hurt them.
And I think Dank joined back, so we should be getting back into game 2 pretty shortly as everyone is joining up. Well,
Oh,
we are missing a player. We're missing Doodle. Don't quite know where Doodle went. We'll get back into the action when Doodle gets here. Uh, but until then, did anyone really stand out for you that first game, Fishy?
from Gravelords, I think Zap did a really great job of getting the important touches in the offensive half. He had the finishing pass on that 3-man passing play. It looks like the players couldn't leave and rejoin fast enough, and we'll have to get a reset here.
Well, and resets can be big for momentum, and I think this reset definitely favors the Kings, and it's a good way to reset your mind after getting absolutely crushed that first game. Uh, maybe this will help them, and maybe they'll come out hot the second game.
Yeah, I'd really like to just see them bring it to Gravelords because when they were on pressure, they were forcing a couple of Gravelords double commits. Again, going back to that King's goal, it came from a little bit of a double commit as well. So I think if they just keep up that sustained pressure, they could have a chance in this series.
Yeah, definitely. They had a great 30 seconds, and then it just seemed like they just kind of lost steam after that first Gravelords goal. So, hopefully, with this reset, with this change of server, things will go much smoother for Kings, and we'll actually get to see a little bit of what they can do.
Yeah, and maybe hopefully Doodle will have less ping used and on about 150 that entire match. And still got about 400 points, which is pretty impressive.
Definitely, and as someone who has played on bad ping before, I know that every 50 looks weird. Every kickoff, you can never tell where it's going, and sometimes that ball just randomly changes direction.
Yeah, it can be difficult.
As it looks like Gravelords are in the lobby. We're just waiting on the Kings to rejoin. Uh, and a big shout out to Cal Tarded with the 3 month sub. We appreciate your support, man. Keep it up, dude. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Uh, now, Fishy, whenever a player is having internet issues and you may or may not have a sub to call up on, what does that do to the mentality of a team?
Ooh. I myself have been in this position a lot from a teammate perspective. I've had a couple of teammates have bad ping in the past, and you really just gotta try and play around it. It's hard to kind of get in that mindset of, oh, it's all out of my control, but sometimes you just have to not leave that person in bad situations and just try and make them be the ones on offense.
Yeah, and it looks like the Kings are going to be playing with Mickey instead of Doodle. Uh, if you're Mickey, you got to be terrified coming into this series after that first game. But it looks like the offense is going to be right where they picked up in the first game as the ball in the Gravelords half. Zap gets a great demo to relieve some pressure, but a good 50 on net puts Caillou in an awkward spot, but a great save, and Case is going to help him clear it away. As Mickey passes that ball to the corner, a good touch by Tyler, but cleared away by Case. Case putting some offense of his own as he takes a quick shot downfield. Caillou looking to control it, going for a flip reset, I don't think he got the flip, but it looked good as Dank is putting the ball to Zap. Tyler looking to challenge the ball. 50's neutral. Dank couldn't quite get the read, but Case with an awkward jump. Caillou with control. Mickey, a great block as the ball is high in the King's half. Dank clears it away. And Fishy, it looked like that first 30 seconds was Kings, and now it just seems very back and forward.
Yeah, it's been a midfield struggle in this one. I think that really favors Kings. Every time it's a little bit awkward, being the lower seed that they are, I think that they have a chance in this one. They've done a really good job as maybe an open net now. They've done a really great job of just bringing it to the Gravelords every single 50.
Yeah, a good performance here by the Kings, and Mickey putting in some work as he's going to clear this ball downfield. Caillou trying to pass it back, but Zap wasn't quite ready for it as he's going to take it himself. Caillou looking to air dribble this one down the field. Gets a good touch, but it's a weak shot on net. A pass to Tyler. Tyler gonna send it back to Dank. Dank gonna put a good shot, but Zap there to save it. As this ball cleared out to Mickey, and Mickey takes a shot and it goes in.
That passing play, it looked like that could have gotten them the goal, but barely saved away. And Mickey, he just got subbed into this series, and he gives Kings their first lead.
Yeah, and that's a big confidence booster coming in from game 2, or coming in from game 1, as this neutral 50 goes in favor of the Gravelords. Case looking to make something happen, but Mickey there on the backboard as Tyler's going to clear it downfield. Tyler bumps Zap in the corner, making it awkward as Zap going to finally get control of this ball up high. Zap looking for the pinch with Case, but Mickey cuts it off quickly. Caillou off the ceiling, but Mickey there to stop him early. Zap puts it downfield, a free ball for Dank, who's just going to give it to Caillou. Caillou's going to take a shot, can't quite get there as the ball's going to be played back in, but Dank here to clear it away. Case looking to control it, and with 2 minutes left to play, what do you think the Gravelords have to do to even this one up?
I think they have to stop going for a lot of these slower plays that they're trying to go for. A couple of air dribbles coming out from the midfield. Those air dribbles are great if they come from the opponent's half, but from the midfield, it just gives the defending team a bit more time to rest and recover.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Kings have picked up the pace and Gravelords aren't quite sure how to react to it. As Caillou going for a slow play again, and it just doesn't work out. As Mickey going for the slow play of his own, beats 2. Caillou rotated back well to get a touch. Tyler can't quite get there as Caillou dribbles it over him and over Dank. Mickey, good third man, as Dank gonna give the ball to Case. Case, once again, controlling it, going for those slow plays, when it seems like in game 1, Fishy just taking shots on net really worked.
Yeah, it worked for Gravelords in game 1, and it's working for Kings in this one. It's almost even in shots here. Most of the Kings have been those lightning fast shot after shot opportunities as Kaya from the corner gets a goal.
Yeah, Zap with a beautiful pass here is Caillou just gonna slot this one into the middle of the net. Tyler in an awkward spot and couldn't quite get there as it ties it up 1-1. Now, when you've worked so hard as the Kings and you've tied it up and then you lose a goal off the kickoff, oh my god, tell us what happened here, Fishy.
It was just a really good kickoff win from Case. It looks like Dank, coming off of that loss on kickoff, he had no boost to beat Case to that ball. But an outstanding solo effort from him to give Gravelords the lead.
Case making his name known as I don't even know if a challenger can get rival player of the week, but Case putting in the work. And now Fishy, what does that do for a team's mentality when you hold the lead all game and then you lose it to a kickoff goal as Case puts a third one in?
Yeah, I think you can really see the effect of the mental stuff impact on these Kings roster. No one really waiting in that midfield to get the ball, and it seems like their rotations have just gone away a little bit. Because, like you said, they did have this lead in the game for a long time.
Yeah, definitely not how you want to end if you're a Kings fan. As Case putting another shot on goal. Tyler with not a super strong clear, but Dank is there to support him. Caillou 50s this ball out to the middle. A race to it. Case beats him there. Zap quick to go up. Can't quite get the touch, but Mickey played the hit. Dank, good control in the corner as Zap is just going to dribble this ball away and waste as much time as possible, as all that's left is for that ball to hit the ground, and that'll be it for game 2 as Caillou almost puts another one in, and there it goes. The ball has dropped, and that puts Gravelords up 2-0.
Yeah, and that's really a heartbreaking loss for Kings because they improved on a lot of things that I wanted them to coming into game 2. Just like, especially to highlight, they were demoing and bumping a lot more. I think that really shut down Gravelord's attack for a good 3 minutes, but as soon as that first goal went in, it seemed like Gravelords couldn't be stopped.
Yeah, and I would just like to point out Dank had 6 saves. That is
Oof.
insane. Gravelords putting up 13 shots to King's 5, and it's no surprise that eventually 3 of them found the back of the net.
Yeah, and just to show how one-sided that second half of the game was, I think around 2:30 left on the clock, Kings had their 5 shots, and that's all they got the rest of the game.
Yeah, I guess it just took a while for the Kings to or for the Gravelords to fill out the new player, as it looks like the Kings are making a sub, and we may have to reset. It depends. He's not quite here yet, and a lot of awkwardness. And now, Fishy, the awkwardness and the waiting, I think it really favored the Kings going into game 2. You think it'll do the same thing here?
Yeah, I think whenever that ball was in the midfield, it was a midfield struggle in that opening half of game number 2. Kings really strived in that and got their opportunities because of it. So I wouldn't doubt if they came out to a quick start here.
Now, the Kings have subbed out Tyler, and Doodle has come back in, and I think that's going to be really useful for them. Mickey played great, definitely deserves to be kept in, as he couldn't quite get the touch there. Case, a great infield pass, but none of his teammates there to read it, as Dank looking to clear this ball out, but sends it right down to Case. Caillou up quickly, gets a good touch off the backboard, and
Oh.
Zap there to read it.
And you mentioned it, Kyle was up so early for this pass, jumped about as soon as it hit the corner. He managed to get a pass down. It looked a little unfortunate from Doodle. He might have gotten that read, but the crossbar got in the way of his touch.
Yeah, a good opening minute for the Gravelords, as Doodle reads that one fast and he puts a shot in as well.
I looked away for about 2 seconds there. I'm not sure what happened. It looks like a quick response off a kickoff from Kings. Doodle just beat Kaio to that one in the Gravelord's half.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you combine Doodle's offensive abilities with Dank's defensive abilities, they might have
Oh.
a chance here as Caillou bangs one off the crossbar. Dank trying to clear it out, but Case is going to keep it in. A awkward miss there by Mickey, but Caillou can't quite get it. He's trying everything. He pops it back in. He dunks Dank, and he finally gets it in.
And Gravelords just sent everything at that attack. I think Zap was stuck waiting at midfield as the third man because Case and Kaio were just pummeling the pressure on the King's net.
Yeah, they said, Zap, we don't need you. We got this. And they made a lot of havoc, as Doodle looks like he could have taken the shot on that, but chose not to. Could have been a goal there, but Case gonna pop it up. Dank keeping the pressure. Caillou going for the squishy save, but Mickey's on the other side, ready to shoot.
I don't think Kaio knew that the Kings player, Mickey there, he had already left the play, but as soon as he saw Kaio go for that squishy 50, he realized he had a chance on that shot.
And if you can see the chat, you can see that Caillou is not very pleased with himself, as Doodle going for another kickoff shot. Puts it on net, but Zap clears it away. Clears it to Caillou, who puts a
Oh.
shot on net. An awkward touch by Mickey as Case gets demoed on the 50. No one quite there by Kings to follow it up. Zap tapping it to himself, faking out Dank, and a big clear. Caillou following it. Can't quite get the touch. Doodle in an awkward spot. Gravelords with the double commit. We'll see how the Kings react as Mickey gets it downfield, but no one there to follow it up as Dank finally sends it to Mickey. Mickey, who can't quite get the touch, recovers well, gets good control. Caillou, downfield, Doodle, got back quick enough. Good ball to the midfield as Zap is going to play it to the corner. A great double touch keeps it in, but a big 50 clears it. Case can't quite get there, and with just over half the game left to play, both teams are looking really solid right now.
Yeah, these defenses have really settled into this one. After about a minute there where it looked like a goal could happen for either side. Looks like both teams are content right now with just sitting around the midfield and clearing it back and forth. And we'll just have to see how this game develops from here on.
If you remember last game, uh, it was really close, and then towards the end, the Gravelords just picked up the pace as Zap almost puts another one in, but an awkward touch by Mickey plays it down to Case. Dank clears it down, back to Zap. Doodle with a good read puts a shot on net. Case with a great goal line save as Mickey is going to play another one back to the backboard. Two players miss from the Gravelords, but Zap recovers well. Zap following it up again, making things awkward for the Kings, but they're finally going to get a little bit of control. Dank with a great dribble around Case, trying to get a pass out, but it's going to go over the net. And both, like I said, both teams looking really great right now. It's only a matter of time, Fishy, before one of these two teams finds a goal.
Oh, Case almost gets a shot there, but it is only a matter of time, especially with these demos coming out now. I've already seen about 3 or 4 in the past minute. When those demos come out, it can really be a deal breaker for either team.
As Zap plays a pass to the middle, but Case not quite close enough as Case doesn't get the touch. Mickey, it's an open net. Is he going to be fast enough? The shot was wide and Case clears it away. Caillou taking this ball. Dank gets faked. Mickey almost got faked. Oh, if Mickey would have gotten faked there, we would have had an absolute highlight play as Zap looking to pass this middle. Gets a good 50, but Doodle clears it away. Caillou looking to control this ball. 50s it out wide. Chasing it. Doodle with a good read and another 50 in the midfield, as it seems like both teams right now cannot find the pressure they want.
Yeah, Kaio almost got one with a double fake there. The Kings doing the same thing, and they had an open net, but just couldn't get the touch. It really seems like both of these teams focusing a little more on offense here and just trying to get that goal, knowing it very well could win this game.
Yeah, and if you're a Kings player, you've got all the pressure on you right now because it looks like this one might go to overtime where one goal separates you from the sweep as Mickey plays it down into the corner. Caillou looking to kill this one since it's in their half. Case puts it over Dank, keeping it up. Doodle going for the bump as Dank can't quite get the flick, and we go into overtime.
And that was a great opportunity right at the end there. If they could just get the touch, it was a 3-on-1 with someone going for a bump as well, but just unable to keep it up right at the end there from Kings.
Absolutely, and if it doesn't go their way, they're gonna want that chance back as Case pops it up, but Dank with a good clear. Both players from Gravelords jump, but Caillou with his quick recoveries gets there, beats one defender. Doodle dunks him back into the Gravelords half. Case can't quite get there as Dank gonna send it across. Caillou leaves it for Zap, but it's awkward and Doodle sneaks one in.
It looks like a communication mishap there. Kaio, I don't know if he said he would get the touch or not, but either way, Zap was not ready for when it rolled down the corner. And Doodle will get that goal.
Yeah, Doodle they definitely missed Doodle's offense in that second game, and with Doodle and Dank and Mickey, they're looking pretty good as they were able to take game 3 off of the Gravelords. Uh, but still, the reverse sweep is a daunting task that not many teams have done. Do you think the Kings can do it?
Well, I was a bit worried that they'd even do well in this one, considering they've had a different lineup for all 3 games. It can be hard to kind of settle in as a team when you only have 5 minutes of experience. But this lineup definitely has some promise in it. I believe they outshot Gravelords in this one, which is a great sign going forward.
Absolutely. And on the flip side of that, with a new lineup every time, it's really hard for the Gravelords to get a feel of what you can do. So we'll see how they adjust going into game 4 as this kickoff goes in favor of the Kings. Mickey takes a quick shot on goal and he puts it in the open net.
And Mickey showing his speed on offense once again. Zap just couldn't get to that ball fast enough, and no one rotating in behind him. as Mickey gives Kings the lead.
And if my memory is correct, it seems like Kings have gotten so much pressure off kickoffs in last game and now the opening of this game, as the Gravelords is their turn to take the shot off kickoff. And a great touch is Zap gonna put one on
Oh,
net, and Mickey in an awkward spot can't quite get there.
just as you say the Kings get pressure off kickoff, Gravelords bring some of their own as Zap jumped so early for that one and left Mickey with no chance in the net as he shot it to the back post.
Yeah, absolutely, and a great response from the Gravelords, who are looking to try to end this one here, as Mickey with control off the kickoff, but can't quite get the touch. Awkward clear. That's going to be an awkward ball. Doodle up. Can't quite get there. Caillou in a new car with a great flick over Doodle. Dank cuts that off. Dank gets another touch. Mickey looking for the redirect. Caillou
Oh.
just lets the ball go, and Doodle puts a steamer on net.
And so far in this match, I don't believe we have had a single clear from either team, as Kings and Gravelords, both whenever they win a kickoff, they just continue the pressure until they get a goal.
Yeah, and an absolute great shot by Doodle, just right around the defender. Is Caillou can't quite get there. Case sends the ball down to Zap. Can he reach it? No, as Mickey gonna get a clear of his own. Doodle takes it from Mickey. Caillou can't quite get the touch, as maybe this flat car has affected his reads a little bit. But Dank gonna pop it into the Gravelord's corner. Case controlling it. Case going, he keeps going as he gets it over to Caillou. Goes for the bump, can't quite get there. Mickey bounces it off the backboard. Zap a little pushed up as the third man, as Doodle can't quite get that shot on net. And Fishy, that looks like it was a missed opportunity by the Kings.
Yeah, missed opportunity from the Kings. They had a 2-on-1 there for a second, but Doodle, he just couldn't get that shot off the wall. And these touches, if they're just a little more precise from either team, that pinch! Oh my, Doodle almost got a long-range goal there.
Yeah, and the Gravelords just stuck on defense, can't quite do anything. And that's what I like to see out of Caillou, recognizing that his team is stuck and he's going to relieve some pressure. A good demo and a great 50 to send it down into the Kings half. But Dank responds with a demo of his own, turning for the pass. Can't quite get the shot. Is Caillou coming off respawn, going to give it to Zap. Zap just lets the ball be taken away from him, and Doodle, another open net and another wide shot. And Fishy, I hope that doesn't come back to bite him.
Yeah, even if he has missed those two shots, they aren't necessarily easy ones to make by any means. It certainly does relieve them of the pressure whenever he gets those touches off the wall. So I'd just like to see the Kings keep on passing it out of the back like they have been.
Yeah, and a big miss by Zap as Doodle is there to put it in.
And it looked like Dank made it a little awkward by just floating it in front of that net, staying behind it, making no one from Gravelords able to get that 50. And Mickey was there to clean it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just now passed the halfway point. Kings up 3-1. Gravelords looking to put some pressure on as a good 50. Doodle following it up. Caillou clearing it out to Dank. Can't quite get there as Doodle gonna pop this one in. Case sending it off to the side. Caillou there to follow. Fakes out Mickey with control. Oh, fakes out Doodle, or fakes out Dank. Doodle there to take it from him as he gets a flick of his own. Case gonna play it to the corner. And one thing I've noticed, Fishy, is that Case, as the series has gone on, has gotten a little quieter.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly it has been from Gravelords. It seems like maybe they're going for a bit more solo plays and just trying to do it all themselves. I've seen Kaio a couple of times looking very dangerous on those dribbles, but it just doesn't really leave room for Case to get into this offense.
Caillou looking for another solo plays. He gets a good 50. Zap should be there to control it. Gonna take it up the wall. Gets it over one. Case gonna help him clear it downfield. Mickey, last one back. A great touch. Caillou not quite there as Dank is gonna send it back across. Case with a good pass middle and not a great shot by Zap, as usually he hits those. Dank clears it off his own backboard. Case, not quite there for the touch. A zap passes it to Caillou. Caillou off the backboard and a feels backflip from Case, as it seems like that was an opportunity to bring it within one. Mickey looking for the touch, can't quite get there. Caillou pops it up, looking for another solo play as he gets it around two. Doodle cuts it off. Case there in an awkward spot. Case with a solo play of his own, but Dank, tired of getting faked, just challenges that one head on, as Dank is going to play it off the backboard. Caillou with a good clear, and Caillou in this endo just hasn't quite looked as good as in previous games. What do these flat cars do different compared to like the Octane, Fishy?
Well, they certainly don't 50 as well with a bit of a shorter hitbox. It looks like that might be what the Gravelords have been lacking a couple of times. They're just getting beat to balls and getting out 50'd in the midfield. That relieves the pressure for Kings a lot of the time.
Yeah, and as we see there, that lower hitbox just sends the ball soaring above the crossbar, as it looks like Caillou has left to change cars again. And Fishy, I wouldn't call it a reverse sweep quite yet, but I would say the Kings have the momentum.
Yeah, they've done a great job. Excellent job from them. And looking at Dank in this one, he had a playmaker setting up every single goal from Kings. And they really needed all three of those because Gravelords were looking to bounce back at the end of that one.
Yeah, Dank is looking good. Doodle is looking good. Mickey, who they didn't start the first game, looking fantastic. It's really interesting to see what Doodle can do when he's not lagging.
Yeah. And just like to highlight those demos coming in. I know Gravelords tried them a couple times, but Kings really took that playstyle to heart, and it gave them a ton of free space. That can really be great to just relieve some of that pressure coming at you.
Yeah, and speaking of pressure, there's nothing more filled with pressure than a game 5 on stream as the Kings looking to reverse sweep and the Gravelords trying to avoid the embarrassment as we're about to get into the 5th and final game of the series. If you had to predict right now who's taking this game.
It seems like everything's pointing to the Kings in this one. They have all the momentum after those past two games, but you can never count out Gravelords. It'll really be interesting, and you'll have to come back to me as this game unfolds.
I would have to agree. The momentum is definitely in the Kings' favor, as maybe not after an awkward touch and Zap puts the first goal in.
A good bang from Kaio, and it looked like Dank was in a position to get that touch, but a bit of a double commit coming out from Kings, and that'll give Zap an open net to start out this one.
Yeah, you don't want to call it nerves, but the pressure seems like it's gotten to Mickey as he misses the kickoff. Caillou puts in the second one.
And that's heartbreak from Kings. Just a missed jump from Mickey. And again, it's the kickoffs. We've seen it time and time again in this series. The kickoffs will kill teams in this one.
Yes, finally a kickoff goes the Kings' way as Doodle pops it up. Zap has to make a touch, and he does. Looking to get another one, but can't quite get there. Two players up, Mickey on the rotation back. You notice that Caillou has switched back to the Octane as he gets a good flick over one. Can't quite get the bump on Mickey as Doodle with a big clear into the half. Zap with a great corner read. Caillou can't quite get the touch. Puts Dank in an awkward spot as Dank gonna dribble it. Case there to put a shot on net. Doodle lets this one roll. Caillou was there as Doodle just sitting in goal waiting for something to happen and a good pinch downfield. But Case, right place at the right time. Mickey cutting him off, playing it into the Gravelords half. Caillou looking for more solo plays with more success with the Octane than the Endo, as Case gonna beat him to it and can't quite get the shot. Mickey looking to recover. Zap with a great touch and a bump from Zap and Caillou as Doodle is gonna hit the open net.
And that's fortunate from Kings. It looked like Case didn't know he had an open net on that shot, and Kaio gets bumped by Zap going up for that 50. And who knows what would have happened if that that placement of Zap was a little bit shifted either way.
Yeah, it seems like the nerves of both teams is they're making mistakes that they haven't made the rest of the series. Case with a good 50. Doodle, awkward, looking for Mickey to help him, but Mickey can't quite get there in time. Zap, taking a shot on net,
Oh,
and it's fast enough.
and that little bit of hesitation in the corner from Doodle and Mickey get out 50'd by Kaio and Zap. He's shown throughout this series he's the man to really get the goals for Gravelords whenever they need them.
Mickey was so close to making that save. That split second that he lost hesitating in the corner, just couldn't quite get there. This kickoff almost bounces right into the Kings half. Doodle, unshaken, gonna clear this one down. Possibly get a shot, but Caillou's gonna clear it across. Case, awkward spot. Caillou gets dunked by Mickey. Mickey, that was an open net if he wouldn't have hit it. Case pops it over Doodle and gets a dunk almost in. Zap gonna take a quick shot, and Mickey with the goal line save. What a saves in the chat for him as Kings looking to counterattack, but the Gravelords defense and offense looking really good right now, Fishy.
Gravelords showing why they're a top team in rival right here, but Mickey for the Kings holding it on strong on defense, and he's keeping them in it here.
Yeah, as Mickey shoots it right at Caillou. Caillou flicks it over one. Can't quite get the 50 with Doodle. Case tasked to clear this one downfield, and he does. Mickey with the flat car curse as it just rolls off the top of his car. Case puts a shot on net, and Doodle can't quite get the save.
Yeah, and Kaio really forcing Dank to get a weak clear out. It looked like Zap faked him out too as Case comes in from the midfield. That was a good setup by Gravelords to get that shot away and have Zap ready there to go for a bump.
Yeah, Doodle is going to be slapping himself for that one because he was backwards in the middle of the net, and if he would have just held the back post, they would have been fine. So now they've dug themselves the hole that Mickey's going to try to dig them out of, but Zap with a great clear. Case looking to follow it up himself, can't quite get there as the Gravelords with a miss, and Doodle puts them within two.
And Doodle, he had no boost on this touch, but Zap just assuming he had a shot away. And that's just unfortunate from Zap, but it gives Kings back into this series once again.
4-2 looks a lot better than 4-1. And with a minute 45 left to play, there's definitely a chance, especially if you get kickoffs like this. Doodle can't quite get it. Dank trying to muscle it in. But now it's a momentary 3-on-1, but Doodle is going to kill one. Mickey with a good touch. Going to get some control of his own as he's going to pass the ball. Case did a good job clearing out the last defender. Zap with a momentary open net, but he goes for the slow play, and that allows the Kings to get back in time. Caillou popping it down to his corner. Case there to follow it up. Zap can't quite get the read. Case there to get the dunk as well. Caillou and Zap double committing. Zap off the crossbar, downfield. The net's open, and Mickey is going to slot it in, and we have a one-goal game into the last minute.
And Gravelords, they don't have to go for those backboard reads. They're up 2 goals. I feel like if they just played this a bit more calm and collected, they could hold on. But you can't leave Case in a 2-on-1 with the ball over his head already.
Yeah, not great composure from the Gravelords, but on the flip side, the Kings are looking very as they take another shot just high. Zap can't quite get the touch as it seems like this pressure of this possible reverse sweep is just getting to him as a lot of missed touches coming out from the Gravelords, Fishy.
Yeah, a couple of missed touches. We saw a couple of double commits too. But if they do get a goal here, despite all of that, it could very well be what sends them to a series win.
As an awkward ball there, but no shooter. Doodle gonna flip this into the backboard. No one there to read it, but Case read the misses. Doodle trying to put it back in as the Kings looking to go all offense here in the last 10 seconds. Caillou slow playing it. A big clear over Case's head. Doodle's there. He went for the bump instead. Mickey with a chance. Doodle Case makes a great touch. Zap looking to kill it, and he does. Gravelords stop the reverse sweep.
And that was close from Case. He was alone on defense with 5 seconds left, and he made every touch that he needed to. That's a great showing from him being called on to sub up for this Gravelords team.
Yeah, absolutely great performance here. Uh, and man, the nerves that these guys had to have going into that one, and a great showing from the Gravelords and the Kings. I'm not gonna lie, I went into it thinking it might have been a quick 3-0, but the Kings proved me wrong. They looked really good.
Yeah, after those first two games, the Kings looked a little out of it, but I don't know if it was the map change, the roster change, who knows what it was, but they found their footing and they almost reverse swept Gravelords here, which is no small task.
I know exactly what it was. It was Doodle not lagging. That's what made the difference, and they almost got it done, but unfortunately they couldn't quite get there. And uh, we're waiting on someone from the Gravelords to come in. Well, never mind. We are not waiting for an interview. Sorry about that. Well, we will see you in the next match where we have a great game coming out of the Challenger League. We'll see you there for Motion versus Venom. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to vote for your league representatives. Tomorrow is the last day to do so. Y'all have a wonderful night.